I just wanted to let you know that I have the power. So finally got the full 100 amp service, ran out to the garage. Wanted to make this before I kind of end my day, so sorry for the sunshine. Actually, it's not that bad. So I don't know, I could have done it on this side and that would have, I guess, looked a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, but I didn't because the electrical panel is right behind those conduits. So there is the 222 gauge wire running all the way from there into this trench here, into this building. So we have these two new conduits, or two new things going into the building. I have to dress up one or two things to fix that right there with the to fasten it to the building. So I think I'm probably gonna just do it like there's nothing really behind it to support it. It's just metal, and then the what do they call that stuff again? Oh, the foam, the spray foam insulation. So I'll have to fasten that a different way. The other conduit was a lot easier to put in there, but I'm still gonna have to fasten that properly. So yeah, you know, I started Friday and then rented a trencher, and the trencher did a good job roughing it out. And then I called some child labor in, and then they got it to the required depth of 2 feet. So you got to dig 2 feet down and bury the cable 2 feet down. It's direct burial cable, so I can just throw it in there. I was gonna run conduit for the fiber, but I messed up on one length of pipe, and I was like, you know what, this cable's direct burial and we are going to directly bury it. So I said, screw it. Hold on. All right, so this run is probably about 50 feet. Yeah, 50 feet or so. I had from there to there, I think I have about 10-15 feet left, and I got 80 feet, so it's about 65 feet or so. So I got more than enough cable left, and it's some pretty big ass cable. I'm not going to use it for anything really, but use YouTube, and I was able to learn how to terminate it properly. And you have to put this anti-oxidation because it's aluminum, and aluminum touching other metals causes corrosion. So that's a problem over time. And then I'll talk about these markers here, because that's going to be another building pretty soon. Well, sometime in the future, I should say. So in here, I got a 100 amp service running in from the house, and then this is what I put in. And then we have a junction box because we're going from two different type of cable. So I have a junction box here so that I can go this way, because this cable's really thick. Like, it's aluminum. This is how the cable looks. This is 2 gauge wire, or 2 gauge aluminum. But what you're supposed to do is at every junction point with metal touching metal and everything, you're supposed to put anti-oxidation, joint, whatever, cream thing stuff on it. I don't know. But I was able to get this done Saturday and Sunday. So sorry for the noise. I just want to get some better light in here. But you guys will see the pictures in my community tab. Let me just turn this off. So yeah, got my ground here, ground bar here, got everything dressed up nicely. Try to make the cables look as clean as possible with all of the white neutrals and the actual positive terminals. That's providing power. Added some more breakers here. I wanted every circuit on their own breaker, because sometimes I use quite a bit of power, but actually I really don't use that much all at the same time. It's just I didn't want to make sure, I wanted to make sure that I didn't have anything that will cause anything to go down or trip. So I was able to get this cable in here. This is what I ran, and then it's junctioned right there. Also had to make sure I buried it with this electrical tape. So this is detectable burial electrical tape, or buried electric tape. And you should be able to put a detection device above ground and detect with the path that the cable is taking. Sorry. So as I said, I had the kids kind of rough this. I roughed it out with the trencher. which did a good job, but it didn't give me the 2 feet that I needed. And then I would have to go back over stuff, and then that would backfill the hole. So that was a problem, like when you're running the trenching treads over it. So that was an issue. All that stuff up there, where those come in, I had to dig that out myself by hand. And then the kids did, I got the first portion of it down here, and then the kids dug it down to make sure it was the required 2 feet. Oh, as far as this, from here, I was able to shoot, got a grade shot. I'm gonna need dirt all the way up to this point, but I want to put a 40-foot, and that will be, this was the grade that I shot, and that was coming from that flag there. But this grade here is shot from the concrete pad, which is what my concrete guy said is the best thing to do. But this will be a metalworking shop. I've been wanting to learn how to weld, so I'm gonna start doing that. And I wanna start doing some fabrication and some other stuff. In this garage, I'll also have space for a 2500 truck. I'll get that again. We'll see how things work with that, but I'm gonna pay off a couple things before I jump into another car payment, or I'm looking for a home equity line of credit for my house, because I wanna, depending on how much I get, I want to actually probably start a little business, a little side hustle. You know, something I've been talking about for a while, and then just to fund some of my projects and things like that. But I got to make sure it makes sense financially. So there's a couple things I'm doing. A couple things I'll do. I'll leave it at that. So shot the grade out here, and I'm probably gonna do a retaining wall, because I want to make sure that I want this to be as straight as possible, and then have all of this space here, which is about 20 feet or so from between the buildings, or between the flags in the building, so that I can probably put like a gooseneck trailer here, and it won't be covered or anything like that, like I've been wanting. We'll see how that works. But I might put a cover over it, maybe not. I don't think it's really necessary for a gooseneck trailer, but I always like to do things quote unquote the right way, and you know, something that doesn't get just beaten down by the weather or anything like that. Anyway, so yeah, that building will be a 40-foot by 30-foot. This building currently is a 30-foot by 75-foot. So that means it'll go from there all the way to, I think, right about there. Yeah, that should be 40-foot. All right, cool. So, and then I'll have it all tied in with this here, this concrete ramp. Oh shit, I left the damn fan on. I left the damn fans on in here, but that's something that I've been like, you know, since I have 100 amps of power, I'm using it. Also just got a new mountain bike, so I got to get that thing pumped up and start using it, because I have not been able to do any cardio since my knee's been screwed up. And it shows, because I'll be running out of breath. So this is how much cable I had left over after the whole job is done. So not enough to wire up a whole new building, but unless it's like a couple feet away. But yeah, I'll be putting that somewhere. That's actually a big ass spider. I crushed that the other day, and that shit was like freaking scary. So this is the new breaker box. All circuits are running. I have one circuit, which I believe is this circuit here, and it is running at 117 volts instead of 120. Some of the others are running at 123 volts. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm gonna have to figure out the wiring on that one. GFCI, everything else works. So now I just gotta clean all this stuff up. This is all done, ready to close this panel up. In fact, it already was closed, but I opened it up for this video. Same junctions here, as you guys, if you look at the community tab, you'll have the pictures there. Got that outlet working, got to get a battery backup, and then terminate all of the data cables in here, and then give myself a little bit of a service loop for this fiber optic cable here. So get that done. But this is all coming together. I got a lot of cleanup to do in this building, plus put another camera and access point up for the other side of this building, or outside of this building. But yeah, I got lights, I got fans, everything's running. No problems, no buzzing or anything else like that. I love the way this panel looks. I even ran, and I was told I didn't need it, but I ran another ground wire outside. That's a number 6 bare copper wire, and it's running out to a grounding rod. So per code in some states or places or municipalities, you have to run, if it's a detached garage or detached building, you have to run a separate ground because it is not a part of the original structure. So in this case, I did that. My electrician told me, hey, you don't have to, but by then I had already bought the tool and all the equipment that I needed to run the ground. He's like, you can go ahead and do it if you want, but you really don't need to, because it should be tied into the original ground or the ground for the house. So if anything happens, all of the grounding or all of the excess electricity should go down this wire and then all the way back to the house. So it'll go from here, the workshop, and then the house, and then the grounding rod by the house. So I kind of shortened that a little bit. So some of that will go here as well. So he said, that's fine, not a big deal. This one, you could see it's ran a little bit different in terms of the way everything's set up. The other one has a main breaker at the top. This one has a actual circuit breaker or a circuit breaker here, as opposed to having the main breaker at the top. Really no big deal in terms of the difference that I know of. The biggest thing is, again, every time you're going to one of these contacts where you have aluminum, you have to make sure that you put the anti-oxidation stuff on there, which is this stuff here, Oxguard, antioxidant compound. Now they have different ones. This one comes out gray, but I've seen others where it comes out like almost like a green gel. But yeah, got this all done. But that's basically it. Next building is in the works in terms of getting all the stuff together for it. In terms of like getting the numbers and all that other stuff. There's still a lot to do with this building, so that building is going to be a ways off. I have a bee problem around here, and it's actually coming from my neighbor's tree, but it's really bad. Like this tree had like a whole swarm, like it looked like a whole moving cloud. It was kind of crazy. But yeah, so the next thing is having this building here put in, and that'll be the metalworking shop plus another garage for a 2500 pickup truck. I'm gonna get a used one. I'm gonna get another used one. I don't really worry about the technology in it, and I'm gonna see what I can do to get something under 40 grand, 2500, maybe even a 3500 dually, so I can do some hauling and stuff if I ever need to in the future. I'm still up for debate on that. I've always wanted a dually, so that's purely because I just wanted one, but not that because I needed one. But yeah, so that's in the works, and that'll be, I think, the last building up here. The next building after that will be the what is the next building? The gun range. So getting the gun range in the back, and then honestly, if I can actually swing it, and it'll be after I pay off this house, it will be putting in a barndominium, getting a whole new house built. Just straight barndominium, open floor plan as much as possible. And honestly, second story, the whole second story would be like 3,600 square feet from my measurements. I think it's like 100 foot by 40 foot building or something. I think it's like a 40 foot building, like 10 feet more than this building here. But it'll be like 100 foot by 40 foot building. And I think the top, I don't know, I measured it 36. I got to look at it. I think it might be like 80 foot by something or something like that. Anyways, but the whole second floor would be just my room, master suite. And then the bottom floor would be as much open floor plan as possible. Larger ceilings and stuff like that. Well, no, it won't be high ceilings. We'll see. Anyways, I'm still working on that. And that's a ways away, man. Like, that's not anytime soon. But my biggest thing is now getting all these buildings in place, paying stuff off. So this garage is next to pay off, and then we'll look at this building and then the gun range. But paying, at most, having maybe 1 to 2 building loans. Like, for instance, if I have a loan on this building, or like I did with this, I had the pond room building. I paid off for that workshop, have the pond room building, and had a couple grand left on it. And then I still got this. but then I pay that off, and then I only have this. So now I'm looking to get this, and I'm really trying to do a bit of a sprint because this is not a marathon. What I'm doing, I won't be always making this money, and I want to try and get a lot of this stuff done and out of the way, and also making investments into businesses and other things and people in general, just to see if I can get some money back on that. In fact, that reminds me I have to call somebody. But yeah, so still a work in progress. A lot of stuff has to get done. I have to get some hydro seeding done here. And I'm waiting I have to call that guy too, but get some hydro seeding done. So I got the sod here, and then I'll hydro seed the rest of this because it's cheaper to hydro seed, and you pretty much just spray it on there. We're coming out of the rainy season, so I'm gonna get all this stuff done and go from there. Yeah, I'm still thinking about a lot of this stuff. Wide angle. Still thinking about a lot of this stuff to get this done and move from there. But as always, guys, hey, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or any things in terms of like, hey, you guys want to do stuff like what I do, in terms of, any questions about what I do. Electrical is not hard. Just don't shock yourself. Turn off breakers. Never work with, stuff. The biggest thing about electrical is tools and knowledge. And I still have an electrician that I talked to and asked them questions. And I said, hey, listen, man, I can't afford to have you guys do it. But if you can help me in some way, and I'll pay you for that. And he was like, yeah, he didn't even ask for any payment, man, because he was like, I had most of the stuff done by then. And I had another guy that did some electrical work, but he's like, kind of like a shade tree person. Do you have a quick moment? All right. Well, I'm getting wondering about something about Logic Monitor. All right. I got to hit somebody back. They're hitting me up on chat. All right. Talk to y'all later. Be safe. Love you all. Bye.